Hi everyone and welcome back to our tutorials with Mr. Bell. Today we will explore how to set up a Stripe account for enterprises or registered companies, what in Bell we call Stripe onboarding. I'd like to remind you that the Stripe onboarding is a necessary step for receiving donations within the Bell app. If you are onboarding an enterprise, be sure to have the legal authority to do so, that you are the business representative or can present to Stripe the information about the business representative. If you don't have an account, you can take a look at the other video tutorial on how to create an account in Bell. When your account is created, you can enter the profile page. To do so, I press the little face icon from the yellow bar at the bottom of the screen. We shall then move to Edit Profile and select Enable Stripe. After enabling Stripe, we receive a notification email from Bell. In this moment, Bell is sending to your email address an email confirming that Stripe has been enabled for your Bell account. From here, we can proceed in two different ways. The first one is moving to our mailbox, read the email we just received, and open the link to the Stripe platform. This can be done from both your computer and the mobile device. The other option is to move back to the Bell app, open the Edit Profile page, wait a few seconds that the Enable Stripe button becomes the Complete Onboarding button, and press it to open a link to the Stripe account creation. It's important to notice that if you have registered a Stripe account before, either outside of Bell or because you have another Bell account, you can use the same email address registered in Stripe to keep those accounts together under the same login credential. Unfortunately, you can't link the existing Stripe account to your new Bell account, so it's necessary to create a new Stripe account for every existing Bell account. Since we are talking about money management, it's important to set a two-step authentication method. Here there are three options. The first one is to use Google Authenticator app. Also, the second one is to use the Google Authenticator app, but offline and digit the code manually. The third one is use your phone, and the fourth is using a different alternative authenticator app. I will use the SMS method. You may notice that in this case, perhaps also later down during the account creation process, Stripe requires to select the country of origin out from the drop-down menu. This can be a little tricky since the only way to select your own country is to know the two letters code that uniquely identifies your country. If you're not sure what are the right two letters that correspond to your country, you can make a quick check on your favorite searching engine. After digiting the verification code received by SMS, Stripe will consider the two-step authentication process completed and provide you with an emergency backup code. What I'm gonna show you now is how to proceed as a Singaporean company. Consider that this and the subsequent pages may slightly change according to the business location. In the case of a Singaporean company, it requires the UEN registration number. When you enter it and press submit, Stripe extracts from its database the information pertaining your company, at least some of them. If it's not able to verify those information, it may require additional verification proof later on. If the registration number has been recognized, Stripe is already able to recognize your type of business. Otherwise, you shall scroll the drop-down menu to find the business type that matches your registration document. In order to comply with your local regulations in terms of invoices, Stripe asks you to fill in the business phone number and the industry type. I'll choose software as this is what matches Bell 3 company registration. If you have a website link, you can insert it in the text below, but if you don't have, don't worry. You can press the Learn More button to understand that you can also use any other link that is connected to your business. Something like a Google link, a LinkedIn link, or another social media link. Under product description, feel free to be more descriptive and don't forget to drop here also a statement about the charges. For the Bell 3 donations, the charges are immediate during the checkout, so I recommend to write something like this. As all the info are compulsory, missing to input something like the phone number will lead to an error message from Stripe. If Stripe requires you to declare if your account is used for receiving donation, well, that's exactly the core functionality of Bell, so you shall tick yes. About the second question on reward-based crowdfunding, Bell is currently not offering this service. However, we are working to implement it. So if you think that in the future you might want to reward your supporters with an appreciation token or a discount, please select yes. Regarding the third option, Bell is not providing financial services on your behalf. So you shall only tick yes if your business activity fits the description in gray below, and if you plan to use your Bell account for these financial purposes. So I select no in my case. It's now time to introduce Stripe, your legal representative. You need name, surname, eventual alias, email address, job title, nationality, date of birth, home address, phone number, and ID. I know it may seem a little tedious, but I honestly appreciate the level of safety that Stripe puts on to safeguard these transactions. So you can also consider to donate to the other users with a peace of mind. Please note that you shall own at least 25% of the company and be a member of the governing board, or otherwise provide both your personal information and the info of the person that fits these two requisites. After completing this step, you may want to let Stripe know your company bank account, so to let the Stripe deposit the donation you received from the Bell app in. Continuing to the next section, you can add the billing information. Under the statement descriptor, you may want to digit a name that helps the supporters recognize your Bell account. So it's either your nickname or a name that uniquely identifies your company. The shortened descriptor is the short version of it. So here you can use a short name or an acronymus. At the bottom, you may provide the customer support phone number. So that number Stripe used to contact you in case of issues with your account or with your transactions. You can then choose to toggle its visibility or on off, whether you want to display in the invoice the Stripe automatically sends to the donation sender. It may be the same or a different phone number from the one digited before, because this is for customer service purposes. Pressing continue will see you moving to the sustainability page of Stripe. This is for you to decide if you want to take part to this Stripe initiative. Please take your time to read the Stripe climate change and then make your choice about what percentage of your revenue obtained from Bell you want to devolve to this cause. There are three options: 0.5, 1 and 1.5%, although the most popular one is 1%. If you don't want to devolve a percentage of your revenue to the fight against the climate change, feel free to press the No Thanks button at the bottom. You can also decide by ticking this small checkbox here to start donating only after you earn a certain target amount. The target amount can be digited like I'm doing inside this small box over here. For your knowledge, you can always change the settings from the Stripe account dashboard that becomes available after completing this registration process. The subsequent screen is just a recap of the info provided so far. If there is any pending information or document you haven't provided yet, it will be highlighted here in red. If the information are correct, you can finally submit in the registration application after carefully reading the terms of condition. If there is something you want to amend, you can press the blue edit button on the right. Now that we have completed the account creation, or better, the onboarding process, we shall wait for the Stripe review of the information provided. This step may take a few minutes to a few days. If there is anything amiss, Stripe will send you an email requesting additional detail or documents as identification proof. To verify the status of the account verification, you can log in into the Stripe website or Stripe mobile app. From the Stripe website, we can notice that there is something pending. So Stripe is requiring me to provide additional proof of identification of the director of the company. After providing those information, Stripe will verify the account once again and try to understand if the information provided are tally with the register of the Singaporean government. If we come back here later in the account status tab, you will notice if there is anything else need to be completed or not. Please take a look at the public detail tab as well. Here you may want to fill as many fields as possible. This in order to enhance the compliance of the individuals and the other companies involved in the donation processes. You may notice a little bug over here since the descriptor I input before, it wasn't recorded. So I recommend you to double check on that. If you are lost, please note that this information can be found inside the business section of the setting page, clicking the little setting icon on top right of the screen. If you want to amend any information about the account setting, don't forget to press the save button at the end, and this is what completed the procedure on the creation of the account of Stripe. Consider that you can also move to the branding page where you can put your logo and your icons here in order to make them appear on the billing documents. We shall now move back to the Bell app and open the profile page in order to understand if the Stripe onboarding has been successfully completed. You can notice that the button onboarding is long gone and the Stripe status now has turned green. This means that from now on you can receive the donation from other users and can set the donation goal alongside the posts. So if you open the plus button at the center of the yellow bar, you start the post creation process. After putting the title, the text, and uploading the medias, you can set your donation goal by pressing one of the preset amount buttons or digiting a custom amount. If you press the post now button at the top right, your post can be created successfully. And if we take a look at the post in your profile page under the section My Posts, by pressing at the center of it, you can notice that a counter bar has actually appeared. This counter bar is the bar that tracks the processes of the people who donated using the buttons of this post. So about Stripe onboarding for enterprise is all for today. Thank you very much from Mr. Bell, and I wish you a great Bell experience.